Hey YouTube, my name's Cliff. I change motorcycles tires for a living, mobily. Um, in this video, I will be showing you how to remove and install the front wheel on this 19 Road Glide Special of mine. I've seen several videos on YouTube on how to do it, as well. I've learned things from them, and what I'm going to do is kind of consolidate it all in this one video. Now, some of the stuff I've learned is from YouTube, but the majority of it I've learned from either a Harley Davidson service manual for this bike and other bikes, and also just from doing. So I've been doing it for well over 8 years now. So I would like to make a video that is, well thought out. I will be going in detail step by step on what tools to use, at least for this particular bike. It varies from some bikes, not too much, but the tools required, the torque specs that are required for this particular bike is another reason why you want to get the service manual, so you know what your torque specs are for certain fasteners, and then and also proper steps on how to remove it and install it. So if you like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel, because I'm going to be trying to do more bikes, not just Harleys, but sport bikes and other cruisers as well. And then leave any comments down below, alright? And then let's get to the video. Alright, to remove the front wheel, you're going to need a torque wrench, 1/2-inch ratchet, a rubber mallet, 3/8 ratchet, a 24mm or 15/16 will work, a 10mm but in 12 point, can't be 6 point, it has to be 12, and a 8mm Allen head socket, a flathead screwdriver, Phillips screwdriver, and a 3/32 Allen key if you have, well, at least for my bike, if you have axle caps. Alright, we're going to take our 3/32 Allen wrench. Sometimes there's two of those little Allen set screws. Sometimes there's one, sometimes there's two. In this case, there's two of them. Take it. Go to the other side. Loosen up one. Loosen up two. Take it off. There we go. Next is the brake caliper. Next, the brake calipers. Take your 12 point, 10mm, give it a little smack, kind of, before you take this last bolt up, kind of hold the caliper, so it could drop on its own. Now what you're going to do is kind of twist it a little bit, open the caliper up just some. Now what I like to do is take the caliper, put it in a Crown Royal bag, take it like that. This way, if it smacks against your fender, it's not going to scratch it. And just let it hang there. Alright, I'll go ahead and do the other side. Right, next, we're going to take our 24mm or 15/16 socket and a 1/2-inch ratchet. Break the axle loose, axle nut. You can take that all the way off. Washer as well. And go on the other side. Now on this side, we're going to loosen. You don't have to take this bolt out. Just get it loose. Give it a couple quick spins. Loosen up. What it is it pinches the axle on this side. That's 6mm Allen. Some bikes have it where this bolt is threaded on the other side, like this one. Sometimes it's a through bolt with a nut on the other side and some washers. And the older bikes, some of the older bikes has a cap on the bottom with either 2 studs and some nuts and washers, or it'd be a cap with 2 Allen head bolts. If you got those only torque down to like 10 to 12 foot-pounds. And make sure that Allen head is all the way in there and you're pushing up on it and it's square. Don't be angled or anything. Those things are real soft Allen heads. They'll strip out real easy. I mean, I've almost stripped them out just trying to get them loose because someone tightened them too much, or they've been on there a while, or you go to torque them down and they've been chewed up so much, man. And so just yeah, just be careful if you got the cap with that 2 Allen head screws that go into it. Alright, and now it's time to take the wheel off. We are going to take the wheel off now. What I've done for the back is I got straps hooked up to the lower part of my rear shock just to keep the bike stable, you know, from wanting to fall over from one way to the other. So, and then I'm going to lift it up using my jack, my little scissor jack, and then go from there. But I'm going to keep an eye on these straps, make sure they don't get too tight or loosen up. So, I'm just going to get some of the weight off that front wheel. Loosen up my front wheel vise. Make sure the straps are good and tight. Take our little mount, give it a couple smash like so. Now if that axle's hard to get out or something like that, take your screwdriver and the hole in the axle, slide it through, twist, pull on it. I think I got a lift. I'm going to take some more weight off that front end. There we go. There it goes. Axle's out. You kind of roll the wheel back, kind of pull out your sensor. The other wheel spacer. Now if you don't have a sensor, you'll have 2 spacers, but sometimes they're different sizes, so make sure you keep them on the side that they came off of. All right. Bike is still stable with the straps on the back. Take the wheel. Take the vise. You gotta go up some more. Now if you got a lift like this in the garage, you got garage like me where the ceiling ain't so high, make sure you're looking up. And especially for the guys that got tall windshields. Alright, now I'm going to take this, change the tire real quick, and come back and show you how to put it in. Alright, now's the time to install the front wheel back on the bike. So, your jack or your lift or whatever, you want to lower it back down. See how that looks. Close enough. I'll be able to lift the wheel up. First thing I'm going to do is wipe this axle clean. Apply a light coat. Nice. Put off this side for right now. Show you this front wheel spacer. See these grooves right here? Those need to point outward, away from the center of the wheel, and put it in. Alright. Hold it up against the fork there. Take this and kind of sensor, kind of slide her in. The axle, kind of get everything lined up. You have to, you can either lower the bike or lift up the wheel. Yeah. And that's in. Put on washer, nut. Now with the sensor on this side, you need to lift it up all the way until it stops. It's kind of aiming like this, okay? And then calipers. Check your brake pads. I'm almost halfway worn out. I'm pretty heavy on the brakes. I'm going to show you this side because it's a little different than the other. So you got the sensor. This little thing can slide on this wheel here. It goes on like this. Alright. All right then. Alright, it's time to tighten the axle down. You're going to need your 24mm socket, torque wrench, and a screwdriver that will fit in the hole of the axle on the other side. I'll show you why. Now this is torqued to 65 foot-pounds. Now on the other side there's a hole in the axle. You want the hole to be parallel with the ground. I mean, you can put it any which way you want, but people have said that if the hole's up like this, you tend to get a whistle, kind of like a deer whistle. So, best to have the axle. Well, I got caps on mine. Another reason to have it like this, and you got caps, is if the hole goes up and down, your screws are on the bottom here. You're not going to have anything to clamp onto in your axle cap. The only way to tighten it down is if it's on an angle. If you want it like that, that's fine, whatever. But if you want it nice and square, best way to do it. Just kind of snug that down real quick. Just make sure my sensor is where it's supposed to be. The holes look parallel with the ground. Yeah. And then your pinch bolt is 20 foot-pounds. pinch bolt. Easy. And then the caliper bolts are 35 foot-pounds. Make sure this cable's not too tight. Got a little play in it. Other side. Alright. That's good to go there. Then pop up the brakes. I'm going to put the axle cap back on, square the ground as best I can. Make sure you get the right size Allen wrench for these things, man, because these are a pain in the ass. You don't need to torque the shit out of them. No. The other side here, make sure it's about level with the ground. Get it in. There we go. Now the brake pads are going to rub just ever so slightly, but the wheel should spin pretty freely. And it's not touching the wheel race. So, take your sticker off. Lower it back down. Double check everything, make sure you tighten everything. And they'll take it out for a ride. Now, if you're also going to want to do your back tire, take off your back wheel, I got a video for that too. All right.